So how much do you spend on subscriptions a month, Liam?
A lot.
What kinds of services do you subscribe to?
Well, I have subscriptions to 3 video streaming services to watch shows, series, films, and sport. I keep meaning to cancel one of them, but I never get round to it.
How about you, Isabella?
I subscribe to one video service and an audiobook service too. I used to read a lot, but just don't have time anymore, so I've got into the habit of listening to books instead. It's actually very addictive.
Yes, I love audiobooks.
Oh, and I have a subscription to a music streaming service.
Music? Me too. I forgot about that.
And to 2 newspapers.
Newspapers? Really? But why when you can get online news for free?
Well, for one reason, and call me old-fashioned here, is that I wanted to support serious independent journalism. There's a lot of free stuff out there, but you never know if what you're reading is true or not, or whether it's fake news. Serious newspapers, on the other hand, check their facts.
That's not old-fashioned at all. In fact, it's actually millennials like us who are most willing to pay for digital services, including great journalism.
Okay, but I don't just read 2 newspapers. I'll maybe skim the headlines in 3 or 4 free papers over my morning coffee, and I tend to read others during the day. I couldn't afford to subscribe to all of them.
Well, this is the challenge that all newspapers and magazines are facing. As print sales continue to fall, how do we encourage our readers to become digital subscribers? I think the success of video and music streaming services offers hope, though.
I can see that. My parents used to buy CDs and DVDs, and we'd rent movies too. But when doing that became obsolete, they quickly got used to paying for streaming services.
Why wouldn't you? For a relatively small fee, you could get access to more TV, movies, and music than you could ever watch or listen to.
The challenge is getting people to see digital publications in the same way, something it's worth paying for.
So how do you do that?
One way newspapers do this is to let people read a limited number of articles a month for free. Alternatively, you can make some of your articles free and keep your premium content behind a paywall. The key is to let people see what they'll be getting if they subscribe.
A lot of papers ask you to register before seeing any free stuff.
Registration allows them to identify potential subscribers, find out what they're looking for, and target them with attractive offers. But getting them to subscribe is only half the battle. We need to retain loyalty through great content so they keep renewing their subscription.
Personally, I love having access to in-depth reports, podcasts, things like that, and all without any ads. That in itself is worth paying for.
It's a big incentive. People tend to get very annoyed when ads interrupt their reading and listening.
And what about magazines?
Well, it's becoming more and more difficult to persuade people to subscribe to physical magazines. Although personally, I love holding a magazine in my hands.
Me too. I love browsing magazines in a store or at the airport.
Well, it sounds like you need to subscribe to a digital service like Apple News Plus or Readly. For a monthly subscription, you get a whole range of magazines on your phone or tablet. Of course, we'd prefer you to subscribe directly, but however we get people to subscribe, I'm convinced that paying to read digital magazines and newspapers is where we're headed.